Hey guys, what's going on? Michael White here, your favorite developer, and today we're going to be starting a new series on the channel called Ask a Junior Developer, or aka my AMA, my Ask Me Anything. For those of you who are new to the channel or don't know who I am, I'm Michael White. I've been a web developer now for about 3 months, and I went from knowing nothing about coding at all to getting a job in the field in 9 months. If that's something you guys are interested in seeing or hearing about, I'll have that video posted down below so you guys can check that out. But with that out the way, let's get into it. And quick disclaimer, if I didn't answer your question or I didn't see it, don't freak out. Just post it again in the Discord or DM me on Twitter or post it in the comments below and I'll get to you. All right, first question. ABiggs24 asks, what is a good first project to work on for your portfolio? When do you start working on it in your dev learning journey? That's a good question. I don't know what's best for everybody, but I can tell you guys what I did and what my approach was. When I wanted to present projects, I wanted to present real life projects, things I could pass off as real or things that could actually be used or transitioned to a real website. So I knew someone who had a carpet cleaning business. So I looked at their old website and it was pretty dated. So I looked around on the internet, found other carpet cleaning websites and kind of created my own based off of theirs for that client. And I used that as a project on my portfolio. So it gave me a project that could be used in the real world, even though I didn't have any real field experience yet. So I think anything that has practical use would be a great first project. And to answer the second part of that question, when do you start working on it in your dev learning journey? I started that project probably about 4 months into my dev learning journey. I was about 4 to 5 months in, had just started learning React, and I wanted to build a cool project with React that I could throw in my portfolio, and that's what I chose to run with. Question number 2, how much time do you have to spend prepping for your interview, especially if it's your first dev job? All right, so again, I'm gonna speak on personal experience here. Leading up to the interview process or the application process, I was about 6 months in, and I'd started doing just reading on the side here and there, watching videos, reading articles about what to expect for your first developer interview and just how to get a job in the application process in general, and start prepping myself then. I also started reading the book Cracking the Coding Interview, which I don't know how beneficial that is really. Maybe if you're going for more of a back-end role, it will help you out more, but as a front-end developer, the job that I got, I really didn't need any of that. As far as setting the interview date and you leading up to it, I had about a week of prep time after I talked to the recruiter, and I spent that entire week just like going over everything, looking at my projects, making sure what I wanted was on my portfolio. I had my LinkedIn ready just in case they wanted to look at it. I just thought about my story and how I wanted to present myself as a whole, because you're selling yourself in an interview. It's not about what you know, it's about how you can present what you know, right? So I spent that whole week prepping. I think as long as you have time before the interview, it could be 3 days, it could be a week, it could be 2 weeks. Just spend the majority of that time prepping yourself for that interview, and I think you'll be good. All right, A-Biggs is hitting us with another question. I promise they're not all A-Biggs, but I do appreciate the questions, A-Biggs. He asks, do you use a productivity system? If you do, what is in your productivity system? What helps you stay focused and on track? So my North Star, the thing that keeps me moving forward, is my goal board. I have 1, 5, and 10-year goals on there. So those are like the big things that I need to get done. As far as staying focused and productive and on track, I have mastered the art of entering the flow state. If you guys don't know what the flow state is, I'm sure you've heard 1,000 gurus talk about it and people just out there. It's when you enter a state of like hyper focus where you just completely zone out and 2-3 hours just flies by before you realize what's happened, and it's amazing. If you can learn to get in that state, it is the most effective way to work. It takes time, it takes practice to learn how to get into it. I happen to have a few other hobbies that require that type of focus, so I'm used to just zoning out and just getting into that zone. If you guys aren't used to hitting the flow state, I'd suggest starting off with the Pomodoro method, where you go 25 minutes of working or studying and taking a 5-minute break, and then you do that for an hour, or is it 2 hours? Something like that, and then you take like a 30-minute break. That will help you get used to working in those longer stretches, but slowly over time, extend the amount of time you're working. Go from 25 to 30 minutes, from 30 to 40, and just keep increasing. Soon you'll get to the point where you can just sit down and boom, once you enter the flow state, it's 3-4 hours of solid, good work. And then you can feel yourself come out of it and you're tired. You're like, man, I need some coffee or something. And To be honest with you, my workday is broken into like two separate flow states. There's the pre-lunch flow state and then the post-lunch flow state. So I don't know how beneficial that is for you guys, but do work on finding your way to get into the flow state. Question number 5. And guys, I might stop counting the questions because I'm already starting to lose count, and we're only at number 5. So if I end up on some random number or thrown off at all, don't judge me, guys. All right. But Ash asks, what are the things you like about web development? All right. So since I became a developer, I've really noticed things that I like and things that I dislike. There are two giant pulls, and I'll hit both for this question. So as far as things that I like to work out and I like to play the guitar. Those things are very challenging at first. And that's how I felt about web development. It was super hard at first. But when you're consistent and you keep working at it, you do eventually get better. You build good habits, and then it becomes fun. I don't know. I enjoy working at the challenge. I enjoy pushing myself and becoming better. Maybe it's that feeling of accomplishment you get after, but that's honestly my favorite part about web development. And the thing that I don't like about web development, clients. I'll pass on bad clients. Good clients, no problem. Bad clients, be gone. Question number 6, I think. Chantel asks, what's your long-term goal? So I don't know if I've ever talked about my long-term goal on the channel before, but there's 2 big things that I want to do. The first is I want to be in a position where I can give people opportunities, because I realize just how life-changing a simple opportunity can be, specifically in the dev field. Giving somebody just starting an opportunity when they're working and grinding, when they get that opportunity, they're going to run with it, right? Somebody who's hungry, somebody you can see who wants it, they're going to take that opportunity and run with it. I want to be in a position where I can help people like that. So that's my big goal, where I want to be 5-10 years from now. I want to be in a position where I can bring others up, where I can create those opportunities. And the second thing is that I want to use coding as a tool to create financial independence. I didn't come from a lot of money, but I am well aware of the opportunities that money can create for you, right? I also don't want my life to hang in the balance of somebody else, of another company, of another individual. I want to take that over for myself, and just coding won't be enough to do that. So you're going to have to develop yourself extrinsically. You're going to have to learn some other skills, communication. There's a lot that goes into that, but that's another one of the things that I'm working towards. And question number 7, Kakashi Ninja asks, should you start with front end or back end, or does it depend on the language? Thanks. I can speak on web development though. And if you're learning web development, I think it is significantly easier and more beneficial for you to start in the front end. Learn how the front end works, learn how JavaScript interacts with the front end, and then learn how to use APIs to connect to a back end. Once you're there, then you can jump over into the back end. I think that's the best time personally, but you're your own person. If you're more interested and inclined on the back end work, then jump into the back end first. But do you. All right, question number 8. Am I doing good with these numbers? I think I am. Future Michael, if we're doing good in editing, give me a thumbs up. The Incredible Hoff asks, what were the reactions of friends and family when they learned that you were teaching yourself how to code with the intention of getting into the industry? Oof. I'll be honest with you, Hoff. I don't think anybody thought I would do it. Maybe some like half-heartedly believed in me, but no, I don't think a single person thought I'd successfully make the jump. Some people thought I was wasting my time. Nobody's going to support you. If you have somebody or a group of people that are supporting you and pushing you forward and actually think you can do it, hold on to them, because don't expect to push from anybody else. And the second part of Hoff's question, I believe you mentioned that you were in the Marines. I was. Did you find that prior experience helped you in any way along your journey? To an extent. The Marines put you through a lot of bullshit, both mentally and physically. So I'm used to being overwhelmed, and then you get used to it. You settle in the Marine Corps. It becomes like just background noise. When you're stressed out, you just keep working towards the resolution. That's all you can really do. You can't really quit in the Marine Corps. You just got to keep going. So when you're learning how to code and you come across those problems and those points where you just want to quit and give up, I was already used to just pushing through and going, just making myself do it. And that's really all coding is, or learning how to code at least. It's just consistency. It's showing up. It's just being there. As long as you show up day after day and you're willing to commit that time and actually invest yourself, you'll get it no problem. So in a way it did help, yeah. But I don't think it gave me like some insane advantage. Question number, I've completely lost count now. I think we're on 9. Kakashi Ninja asks, Windows, Mac, or Linux? All right, this is an easy one. I hate Windows now. So I started off with Linux when I did the Odin project, and I fell in love with Linux right away. I was dual booting my computer on Windows and Linux, and then I messed something up and totally killed my hard drive. And I switched over to Mac shortly after that. And now I love Mac OS. Like, Mac OS is my favorite thing. So Mac all day, number one. I'll put Linux at number two, and I really don't like Windows, so I guess it has to be number three. I feel like I shouldn't even rank it, but I'll put it at number three. Question number, I think we're near 10 now. I didn't number these. I'm just reading them from the Discord chat, guys. Cut me some slack. All right, Martin K. We're going to go with that, Martin. I can't pronounce your last name. I'm sorry, man. All right, he has a few questions. Let's break these down. First, how many job listings did you apply to? Oof. I kept it on an Excel doc. I want to say it was like 30. 30? And it was really annoying because most of them were like those multi-step applications that nobody wants to do and nobody has time to do. But for some reason, they want you to do them. So, yeah, it was like a week worth of sending out applications. Next part of this question is, what was the respawn rate? How many of them wanted you to go further in the recruitment process? Okay. 1. 1. That was it. I either got ghosted or got a nice no, we need somebody with new experience from everybody else. One person wanted to push further, and the recruiter reached out to me. And it's a funny story because once the recruiter reached out to me and we set up a time to talk on the phone, we totally missed that phone call time. And it turns out that I put the wrong phone number on my resume. So I don't know if anybody else tried to call, but this recruiter reached out an email and I was able to talk to him on LinkedIn. It's a good thing I set that up. I sent him a message letting him know I put the wrong phone number on my resume and to call me at this number. And it all worked out. Now I have my job at the company I'm currently at. So that one was all it took. That one was all I needed. I ran with that. All right, next part of his question. What the recruitment process looked like. Was it normal for them that someone who was self-taught applied, or is it not as normal as people on the internet say it is? Okay, so I actually met with my boss and had a talk with him about this, about why he hired me. They see a lot of people that are self-taught. There is a lot of people applying for jobs right now that are self-taught with no experience. There is a lot. If you are in that category, you have a ton of competition, all right? So he told me that the only reason I even got hired, the only reason that they continued forward with me was because I had a YouTube channel. They said I was too green, and in any other situation, they would have passed on me. But because I had a YouTube channel, they went forward with me. So like all my stars aligned on this one, guys. You know, there's that old saying that luck favors the well-prepared. And if I didn't have my LinkedIn set up and I didn't kind of scout out the company once I got the email back from the recruiter, I probably just would have missed that phone call appointment and never got the job. But once he reached out to me, he screened me to see if I'd be a fit, asked basic questions. Recruiter's not going to ask you anything technical. They're just going to throw some stuff out there and see how you respond and see what your experience is, and then decide if they want to push you forward. And then he pushed me forward. I interviewed with my current boss, who is like the head of a lot of different departments. He's one of the VPs of the company. He wears a lot of different hats, but he's my current boss. And then once I interviewed with him, I got a take-home project, completed that, did another interview with him, and then a final interview with the designer, like one of the lead designers, and that was it. And the last part of Martin's question is, how many offers did you get? And if more than one, what was the deciding factor of going with the company you decided to go with? Salary? Maybe the mission of the company was more suiting to your personal needs and wants? Maybe something else? All right, so I guess I only got one, so that's null and void. But I did decide to accept the offer for two big reasons. One, the salary was really nice, especially compared to what I was making. And two, the experience. I think experience outweighs everything else. Like at that point in my career, and still now even, experience is king. I need more experience. So that was one of the things we communicated during the interview. He was like, why do you want to work here? Experience. All right, next part of Martin's question. Where were you looking for job offers? Indeed, Angels List, LinkedIn, and ZipRecruiter. I think those were the websites that I was using. I didn't get a headhunter or anything, or go to any meetups, which I highly suggest you do, because talking to those people will put you in much better situations than just applying blindly online. But that was what I did. I didn't know better at the time. Next part of the question, were you considering only remote positions? Did you try to apply for remote jobs from high-paying areas as well, or maybe you went with places local to your area? When I was on Angel's List, I applied for some remote positions that were definitely not in my area, like in California and like West Coast, East Coast, and I didn't hear back from any of them. Maybe it's because I had the wrong phone number on my resume. I don't know. But I didn't hear anything back. I was just looking for anything, man. I didn't care if it was remote. I didn't care if I had to go to the office. I just really wanted experience. Because like I said earlier, experience is king. Question number 10, I think. All right. Yaya asks, how much of your U.S. Marine training or workouts, I assume you do, has an impact on your overall productivity and learning? Like, does it provide you with necessary grit or ability to continue learning, even though you may not get it sometimes? Marine training, like I said earlier, it helps to an extent. It doesn't give me like a crazy advantage that I've been in a situation where you have to be focused and disciplined. I think anybody can teach themselves that if they just are willing to, you know what I mean? But working out is probably one of the biggest things that you can do to help yourself out. It like de-stresses me. Like when you sit all day doing mental work, which is what coding is, it's exhausting and people don't give it credit for being that. But one of my favorite things to do after a nice coding session is to just work out. Once I get a good workout in, everything's reset. I feel refreshed mentally. The brain fog's gone. Sometimes while I'm working out, answers to problems will occur. It's the same when I'm playing the guitar. Sometimes I'm just taking my mind off of it and putting my mind somewhere else. It just refreshes everything. And then the next day, I'm ready to get back into it. Even if it's later that day, I can jump back in and feel refreshed and not burned out. So I think working out has given me a bigger advantage when it comes to learning how to code than my Marine Corps training did. But my Marine Corps training helped a little bit. So, you know, they did crack that whip on me. I was used to putting myself in that focus up situation, you know? Question number 10, Victor asks, thoughts on JavaScript? Great, learn it. You have a better chance at getting a job with JavaScript than I think any other language as a complete newbie and in a shorter time. So if you're interested in learning how to code, start with JavaScript. It will get you to professional opportunities faster, and that's where you'll really learn the language. Question number, I think, 11. All right, guys, if I made it through all this, keeping the numbers right, y'all got to give me a like and a shout out in the comments, all right? If I messed it up, let me know in the comments. All right, but I think we're on 11. DaVinci938 asks, is the Odin project enough in the backend, or should I back it up with some Udemy courses along the way? It depends how you learn. Neither is going to really teach you the backend. The best way to learn it is just from building the projects. The Odin project has good projects for you to get your hands on and build. And I personally like the more hands-on approach to the Odin project. So I would say go with the Odin project. But for some people, videos are easier to learn from, easier to follow along with. So it depends on how you like to learn. If you're more of a video person, go with the Udemy course. If you're more of a, I can read a lot of text and kind of do my own thing, go with the Odin project. All right, and last question. Sam4Tech asks, hello, Michael. At what point do you think I can move from freecodecamp.org to maybe building my first personal project and learning from other learning platforms? These are my aspired moves: front-end development, back-end development, data analytics and structure, cybersecurity. I want to follow that order until I get the final goal and bring a cybersecurity and become a cybersecurity. I'm going to reword this a little bit. You want to follow that order until you reach the final goal of becoming a cybersecurity consultant due to your love for hacking. All right, let's approach this one tactically. Front end, back end, data analytics and structure, and cybersecurity. I think learning the front end first is best. Learn the back end next is the next logical step. And then data analytics and structure is a good next step. And then cybersecurity, the flow makes sense. It's just, if you enjoy one aspect more than the other of web development or your goal moving towards cybersecurity, you don't have to do these things if you don't want to do them. If you're interested in doing them and you want to do them in this order, you can. If you feel more strongly about one thing than the other, start with that first. Start with what you like first, and then move to the stuff that's just essential for you to learn, but you don't necessarily enjoy as much. I'd say the same thing to somebody who wanted to be a full stack developer and they hate front end work. Well, if you don't like front end work, learn the back end first. Do what you enjoy first, so that way you build good habits, you build up the consistency of showing up and learning every day, and then it'll just become second nature when you got to learn something new. Start with what you love first. And I think that is my last question that I see in the AMA that I posted on Discord. So if this was something you guys liked or enjoyed, do like the video. Let me know in the comments down below that you enjoyed the AMA content, and I'll get started on another one. And I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If I missed any of your questions again, I'm sorry. Do reach out to me on Discord, Twitter, or in the comments below, and I'll post your question in the next AMA if we get enough of a response and everybody wants one. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here. But I'll end with a question for you guys. What is your 1-year goal? What is your 5-year goal? And what is your 10-year goal? It can be web development related, coding related. It can be life related. Post them down in the comments below. And if you guys are interested in joining a cool community that talks code and they're all growing and learning together, do feel free to join my Discord. I'll have a link posted to that down below as well. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this one. I'll catch you guys in the next one, all right? Peace.